I believe this is part 4, 24-hour reset during critical incident alert status. I was speaking on the lockdown status for my family, and I'm challenging you appropriately to examine your decisions that will lead to a lockdown from possible pandemic or whatever the threat is. It doesn't have to be a viral release if it is a sustainable threat. When do you make the call in your life and your family for a lockdown? Now, the lockdown here will remain into effect until the imminent danger has passed. Until the sustainable threat as imminent danger has passed, we would remain on lockdown for a major critical incident or a series of critical incidents such as the viral agent. And by the way, if it should it go pandemic, it will be a major critical incident at that point. We can sustain independent life for up to 3.5 years here. I don't think it would be that long. I'm just letting you know that's as far as we're capable of going right now. 3.5 years. I don't foresee anything, hopefully, except major tribulations from hell pushing us that far. The more you educate yourself about viral agent releases and pandemics will help you make your concept. I'm not going to speculate how long we would have to. I'm trying to put something concrete and carry you into a critical incident where you call it a lockdown at this point in life. You will have to make your own decisions. But one thing that will obstruct your ability for longevity is if deficient preparation. The longer you can go for your family for sustained life of food, water, shelter, and then incidentals, the longer you can wait this out. Anything. Now, the Fed's state of health emergency for viral agents made on Sunday, the 25th, is a pretext for the feds to enact martial law if Obama's told to do this. Some of the Department of Defense bases are on alert for martial law if this reaches the criteria that they've already established. Sunday was a precursor to martial law if they choose to enact this. I'm not telling you we're going to have martial law. I'm saying the state of a health emergency announced by DHS Sunday afternoon is a pretext. It's a polite way of saying they're ready to use the executive orders and PD 51 and others against you if they call it out that way. Now, the World Health Organization has announced that they may have to raise from level 4 to level 5. And as I'm speaking, I don't believe we're at level 5, but they're warning you the conditions are warranting and manifesting to expect level 5. Now, I think it would help if you print the World Health Order, because that's what they're going by, people, whether you like it or not. Their threat assessment of declaration involving disease and especially infectious illness and diseases. Now, level 5 from the CDC is the last stage before pandemic. And level 5 basically is when you have larger clusters of human-to-human transmission spread. It is still localized, suggesting the virus is becoming increasingly better adapted to humans, but not yet fully transmissible. And it's basically on the verge of going into a pandemic period. A phase 6 is a pandemic, is an increased and sustainable transmission in general population. Now, learn and educate yourself because it's in your face, and even if this goes remission, it could come back out, people. This is that hot and that dangerous where it could come back out in weeks or months or another year. A pandemic. Don't take the news, don't take people on the internet or at work or your neighbors saying, oh, it's a pandemic. Understand the clinical term and the term the government would use as pandemic so you don't overreact or underreact. The pandemic is typically when a viral agent of epidemic of infectious disease that spreads through populations across a large region. For instance, a continent, or even global, and has sustainable coverage in a nation or continent. Don't let people scare the living hell out of you saying we're in a pandemic. If we are in one, you don't have to be afraid. Now, if the feds enact martial law resulting from this viral agent releases, you will no longer have constitutional law, but under military rule as a police state. Yes, some of the things you've been hearing for a few years, and it's intensified the past year and the past 6 months. Martial law is a concept where your Bill of Rights is suspended, deleted, aborted, or it's gone. And you are ruled by military police state. I recommend we have it. Several of my friends I'm in contact with have it. Know and possess copies. I'm going to read this off to you. The 2006 Military Commission Act, the Patriot Acts, PD 51, John Warner Defense Acts, the Presidential Executive Acts involving martial law, the U.S. Constitution, you'll need that, and your state constitution. Now, anticipate quarantines if this goes to pandemic. They may without it reaching pandemic state. This is just a brief overview. Possible forced lawful vaccines. I've already stated Sunday, I'm not taking them. I didn't take the 76 flu vaccine. I didn't take any from the government. They couldn't make me. And they also might threaten you with their regulation, which is unconstitutional, to imprison or use deadly force if you refuse it. Well, too bad. That rule goes both ways. They use force on me, then they may be reciprocated with force. That's a threat to me if they use that. And we're not taking it. Various levels of enforcement may be used in your community. What may happen in another part of the country may not be enforced upon you. It depends. They hold the cards for this, and it's a flex. There's no level 1 or 2. There's no stage 1 or 2. It's a progressive incremental use of force and use of basically a tight control grid. I'm not allowed to discuss the command manual for the critical incidents. Just learn about Nazi Germany and you'll see where they came up with several of their concepts. It's all about control over your life on the micro level. Expect to have restricted traveling. Possible restriction. You may not be allowed to leave your residence from sundown to sunup or at all. They expect detainment and relocation of some citizens. Food in the stores most likely will be depleted. There'll be a run on food and gas and necessities. You'll more than likely be expected to lose electrical power, water, and communications. The banking system may be restricted or suspended. People will be flooded to the ATMs and the banks if they think this is going to happen. Goods and services will probably be suspended. Do not expect your daily typical life to be maintained. It's going to be turned upside down. Medical centers will probably be overwhelmed from the sick and dying. Panic or civil unrest could occur in pockets or regions in the USA, and expect to see sick and dying people and maybe death itself. I'm not trying to scare you. The viral agent's capable of doing that all by itself. This ends this video.